It's Wednesday, December 3rd. I'm meteorologist Kayla Mitchell in the CTV News Atlantic Weather Center with an update for you. So, of course, parts of the Maritimes did pick up a fair amount of early December snow as we went through Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. Let's take a look at some reports around the region and a couple takeaways from them. So there was a decent band of some snow, mostly in the range of around 10 to just over 15 centimeters that came right through southern parts of New Brunswick and then into parts of Prince Edward Island, mostly Charlottetown and east in PEI. Now, for Nova Scotia, the higher snowfall was really dependent on higher elevations. Like, for example, in around the North Shore, most of the reports I have from coastal stations around the Northumberland Strait came in around a centimeter or two. But I did get a viewer report and some pictures out of Spring Hill. So that's moving in towards the interior of the north of Nova Scotia and at a higher elevation. Looks like a good 30 centimeter snowfall. Likewise, in around the Annapolis Valley, in the valley proper, some reports of around 10 centimeters. But I bet if you climbed up to some of those higher elevations, you'd start to get into some amounts that were in the range of around 15 to 20 centimeters of snow. And then, of course, speaking of higher elevations, North Mountain in the Cape Breton Highlands continues to add up as far as the snow goes, sitting at around 28 centimeters there. There was some heavy rain around Atlantic coastal areas of Nova Scotia, and this weather system continues to clear out of the region as we're making our way through Wednesday afternoon. The last of the mixture of snow and rain will be clearing out of Cape Breton as we head towards the late afternoon hours. There is a chance of some scattered flurries in behind it. Speaking of Cape Breton, there's still some high wind gusts there, especially for Cape Breton in Richmond County, possibly still peaking close to 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, moving through around the mid-afternoon hours. But you can see the trend for the forecast here, this is for Sydney, is for those stronger wind gusts to diminish moving into and through the evening. Speaking of which, let's take a look at our timeline for cloud cover and precipitation. I think one of the biggest takeaways for conditions tonight in the Maritimes is the fact that temperatures are going to be falling below the freezing mark region-wide. Because of that mix of snow and rain that we had move through, there are some snowy, slushy, wet surfaces. You want to be careful about those turning icy as we move through the night. Here's a look at the low temperatures for tonight, and you can see that many in New Brunswick can expect lows to fall into a range around -6 to -10, down to around -4, -5 for communities in Prince Edward Island. Most of the lows for Nova Scotia between -5 and 0. But this isn't the last of the cold air that we're going to be talking about this week. There's a cold front that's coming across the Maritimes on Thursday. That'll be bringing a mixture of flurries and brief snow squalls to New Brunswick throughout the day, and a mixture of flurries and showers to Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. High temperatures tomorrow will range from a few degrees below to a few degrees above the freezing mark for New Brunswick, in the low single digits for Prince Edward Island, and 3 to 7 degrees for Nova Scotia. But what happens behind that front as we get into a northwest wind, and that's going to tap into some of that polar sourced air that was brought down by this sort of weakened position of the polar vortex, still centered up around Hudson Bay, and bring it once again into the Maritimes. So we've got this fresh round of very cold air arriving Thursday night into Friday. That cold air moderates by just a couple degrees for the start of the weekend on Saturday, and then a returning northwest wind looks like it'll be bringing in further colder air as we move through Sunday night and into the start of next week. You can find news and weather updates anytime at ctvnewsatlantic.ca.